Warning, the views and beliefs in the following program does not reflect the views of Boom Broadcasting. We do give full creative control to our creators and do not believe in cancel culture. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Monday. It's time for a nightcap, and that means viewer discretion is advised.
Live from the MOWM studio, Boom Broadcasting presents The Nightcap. And your host of The Nightcap, mouthing off with Mike.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Nightcap here on Boom Broadcasting, hosted by yours truly. I am the Mike that likes to mouth off. I am mouthing off with Mike. And before we get into our introduction here, happy Cinco de Mayo to all of you out there here. As you can tell by the graphics, we had a little bit of a quick rework here today. Shout out to Mrs. MOWM for the graphics tonight on the Nightcap. And of course, shout out to the PREZ of Boom Broadcasting. He is another Mike. That is Michael Davis. He is the PREZ of Boom. He is also the host of Out of Pocket. He is also the host of Drop the Mic. He is also a co-host of the Dallas Cowboys podcast. He also is a writer with Fans First. He also, there's a lot more you do. What else do you do, Mike? Go ahead, tell the people.
Dude, I feel like you just read off all of it, and I feel like we're missing like 6 things. And honestly, I'm missing 6 things because I can't even keep up with it all. But a friend told me this is Cinco de Mayo. Is that right?
This is Cinco de Mayo. Shout out to our good friend Mark from Booking Like a Mark here. It's Mike and Mike on a Monday night. And we're talking some Monday Night Raw, and it's Cinco de Mayo. So it's Cinco de Mayo. So put that one on your calendars. We'll reunite every May 5th for Cinco de Mayo from here on out.
That goes on a Tuesday next year, right? So we might do an NXT nightcap.
We'll have to do an NXT nightcap at that point. Yeah, it's going to have to be we'll have to see what happens. Logan's already here. Shout out to Logan, frequent flyer of the Nightcap. He knows what day it is. He knows it's Cinco de Mayo, or Cinco de Nightcap, whatever you're feeling here. Hello, Julie and Roxanne joined Finn Balor. Ooh, good question. We're gonna get there, Logan. Shout out to Four Sides of the Ring, best recap show in the nation. I love my guys. I love you, Four Sides of the Ring. Marcus, the founder, just dropped a interview with former professional wrestler Fuego del Sol, now known as KJ Orso in the wrestling world. So make sure you check out that interview. From what I'm seeing, that is the last interview Fuego del Sol will do. So make sure you go check that one out. Is that a Phillies jersey? Of course it's a Phillies jersey. It's a Chase Utley. I can't spin around. It's the best second baseman. Yo, what up, Mike's? Cowboys kick him off the show ASAP.
Whoa!
You already know. You already know.
Out
Get
of
him out
pocket.
of here. Get him out of here. No, Cowboy fans. I hope you guys are enjoying the Nightcap here. It's not margarita match time tonight here on the Nightcap, unlike our boys at Four Sides of the Ring. But it is Cinco de Mayo, so we're gonna have a little mark here. Even got the salt rim. You know, Mike's back. Welcome back, Mike.
You can't kick me off my own show because I'm a Cowboys fan.
Your own show. Whoa.
Whoa. It's Cinco de Mayo. It's Cinco de Mayo. It's Cinco de Mayo.
Hosted by MOWN.
It's your show, but it's our holiday.
I am a Yankees guy. I'm a man who has a lot of different jerseys.
A bandwagon.
I got a little bit.
You're a bandwagon.
I'm a bandwagon. This guy, get out of here. I got jerseys for just about every team. I got a Orioles jersey. I got some jerseys that you guys never would expect.
Rangers?
I did used to have a Rangers jersey. Yeah.
Used to.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened to it. All the years of moving and going from state to state to state, yeah, you know, things get lost in the shuffle. 3 weeks in a row with an outstanding Raw. Absolutely. MOWM with a little bit of the bubbly. Oh, a fan wagon. That's cool, I guess. Wow, you're just absolute haters here tonight on the Nightcap, guys. A man just wants to diversify his jersey, you know, wearing his collection. He just wants to wear his Chase Utley jersey. My bad. Sorry. PREZ. Welcome to the Nightcap. It's been a while. How you been?
I've been pretty good, and dude, I am even better after tonight's Raw because we got spoiled from start to finish. You want to talk about spoiled, though? Omaha? Like, we got spoiled with a good U.S. crowd.
Listen, nobody beats Nebraska's meat. All right. Shout out to Pat McAfee. Can't beat Nebraska's meat. They did waiting Phil's jersey open store leaves. Very good episode. You guys are gonna kill me tonight with this Philly jersey on, huh? PREZ. Oh my God, got spoiled. I agree to that sentiment. I don't think they deserve this Raw. I think they delivered though. The reaction was good. You're right. I mean, looking back on it, crowd was hot all night. They were hot from the start to the end.
I mean, and that's what makes a really good crowd. This kind of felt international because there were so many times we looked at that crowd and everybody was standing up on their feet, engaging with whatever was happening in the ring. And honestly, we probably don't get as intense of a promo from Paul Heyman without that Omaha crowd. So the fact they were able to elevate this show made this probably and arguably the best Monday Night Raw of the year.
Whoa. Wait.
Am I wrong?
Wait. The best Raw of 2025 was this Raw tonight.
I think so.
Omaha. I mean, I thought this was a great Raw. I don't think this was the best Raw of the year so far. I think there's been some better Raws.
I think it was better than Raw on Netflix. Raw on Netflix felt very celeb, Netflix focused. The week after, they tried overcorrecting with, okay, let's get the wrestling fans a Monday Night Raw. This felt great. I don't think I'm crazy in saying that.
It was a good Raw. I mean, I don't know if it was the best Raw of the year. I mean, but all right, I'll let it go. Doughboy said it had to be good. Think about it. The NBA playoffs are on, so you know they had to deliver.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shout out to the Knicks, man. They beat the Celtics in overtime. Go Knicks, baby.
You know Jason loves that.
Jason loves it. The four sides of the boys love it. I agree with Michael. Oh, you agree with Michael now, Wayne. All right, fine, whatever. Agree with Michael. Raw after WrestleMania was a spectacle, but all these matches tonight were pretty solid. Good promos and good wrestling. All right. So it seems like you guys want us to talk about Raw. You guys don't want to hear any more about Cinco to Mayo. You don't want to hear anything about the Cinco to Nightcap. Let's talk about main event. Jey Uso kicking off Monday Night Raw. But he is interrupted by not Logan Paul, but Paul Heyman. And Mike, you mentioned it. Paul Heyman cut one hell of a promo tonight. So talk to the people about it. What did you like what Paul had to say tonight?
Dude, Paul Heyman just wrote promo class material for all the NXT stars up and coming, whether they're in NXT or LFG or Evolve or they're in the indie circuit. Paul Heyman taught you how to put butts in seats and to have the crowd eaten at the palm of your hand. I mean, Paul Heyman knew exactly when to turn to the crowd and say, hey, you're not hijacking this promo. I'm going to tell you shut up so you can get louder and boo me. And then he went deep and deep and deep into explaining all the behind the mind of Paul Heyman for turning his back on CM Punk and turning his back on Roman Reigns. And he was right. And just the emotion on his face. And then Jey Uso to casually be like, what does this have to do with me? What? Like, why are you telling me this?
All right, cool. That's cool and all, Paul. What the hell that got to do with me, though?
And for Paul Heyman to manipulate Jey Uso into a world heavyweight title match later that night against Seth Rollins, dude, it was the right way to kick off Monday Night Raw. And shout out Alan, appreciate you hanging out with us for the Monday Night Raw nightcap.
Yeah,
And
all
Derek,
our Flyers are hanging out tonight with us. We got Wayne, we got Cody in the building from Drew Code Sports Talk. Paul is the best at delivering promos and absolutely feeding off that crowd, 100%. Happy Monday, Derek. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Happy Cinco de Mayo. If you're here on the nightcap with us, Prez, I agree. I agree with you, Prez. Fine. This is the only time we'll be in agreement. Paul Heyman really knows how to get that crowd, to go in the direction he wants them to go. He is a master manipulator. That was one of the most, I don't even know how to describe that promo. That was a really good promo. I guess the comments speak for it itself. Heyman deserves wrestling's first Emmy. 100%, Wayne, 100%. I mean, listen, you got Stephen A. Smith on General Hospital shooting people. So, I mean, anything's possible. Anything is possible. Paul Heyman, the Bloodline story, you could argue could have been nominated for an Emmy. I could make that argument here tonight.
You can. And for Paul Heyman to be like, I created the Bloodline. I was the reason the Bloodline existed 5 years ago. Like, the fact that he put all of that responsibility and credit on his shoulders was just, it was like brilliant. And Jay's over there looking like, what? You're elite.
Yeah, listen, this was one of those things, and Seth Rollins hereby challenges you for the World Heavyweight Championship, Mike. So it leads to our main event, which was a shocker. Seth Rollins, Jey Uso World Heavyweight Championship match. And honestly, that match was pretty damn good when we talk the main event here a little bit later on. Paul wasn't wrong by saying he created the Bloodline. He did. He absolutely did technically create the Bloodline. The tribal chief that we know and came to love was because of Paul Heyman.
And he was so influential, and it's going to be interesting to see how long he stays with Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. If there's ever a third man or woman who comes on to be another Paul Heyman person. But yeah, this was the exact way you start off of Monday Night Raw to create anticipation for your main event. But everything else in between was great too.
No, we had some great action here tonight, on Monday Night Raw. I'm not going to dispute that. We started off hot with Penta versus JD McDonough. My good friend Menta. I don't know where he is. We haven't seen him in a couple weeks. I don't know where he's at. On a day like this, I feel like I should have called him up and see if he was available for the nightcap. But nevertheless, JD McDonough, Penta. This was a hoop sesh, Mike. I liked it. I liked this match. Even the chaos that ensued after, I liked.
I feel like with JD McDonough's unfortunate spot a few months ago, the fans really got behind him and they got a lot of respect for him. So JD McDonough can go out for these bangers and get respect, just like the commish is here in the comments. Real treat to have him back because, yeah, he is a really good in-ring worker. And man, that moonsault, he took it like a champ. A lot of wrestlers nowadays will try to land on their feet when the opponent moves out of the way. But JD took it flat on the stomach and then a Mexican destroyer. And I love the detail in this because Penta's finisher is not the Mexican destroyer. But if you remember and know JD McDonough's injury history and that whiplash off the announce table, the Mexican destroyer would be enough to put away JD McDonough. So I thought that was a very nice little detail. Maybe not a lot of people would catch on to, but yeah, this is really good. And honestly, like the amount of people attacking Penta and the LWO, it's only a matter of time before Penta joins Rey Mysterio and have all the luchadors and grab people from AAA to come fight off American Made and Judgment Day. And let's throw in El Grande Americano, your new speed champion.
Well, you got to but see, you can't just segue into that without putting the hashtag or asterisks like the Thunderbolts movie. Spoiler alert. You can't just can't just whip it out and whip out the El Grande Americano's the new speed champion. Spoiler alert. You got to at
all
least
over Twitter.
It's all over Twitter, but maybe people on the Nightcap, they avoid the spoilers. Maybe there are still people out there who watch Speed live on Wednesdays. I don't know if you are, but if you are, you're an animal, and I respect you. You're the person I'm calling up to one of the 100 guys I'm calling up to take on the gorilla if you're watching Speed on Wednesdays live. All right.
Let's just be honest. Shotzi can't wrestle 3 minutes anymore, so they're not going to watch WWE Speed.
I mean, listen, don't hate on my girl Shotzi. All right. I will call
I'm
up.
not.
I will call up the army, and we will have the tanks at your door. I will have the tanks at your door, Prez.
Bro, I'm taller than one of those tanks. That don't scare me.
I don't know about that. Listen. Back on road here. We haven't seen Menta since the Nightcap a couple of weeks ago. That was indeed a hoot. I hope he's doing well. On a night like tonight, I'm sure he's out there partying it up, living his best life. He might be even with Penta, turning up there in Omaha. Maybe they got themselves some steaks. I don't know. Serious question for main event. Okay, that's us. That is us. We're the main event mics. Remember, Mike? 4 sides of the ring, 3 count trivia. Right, that's us. Since Survivor Series is in a baseball stadium, could we be getting War Games sooner since I feel a 4-on-4 is brewing quick? No, I don't think so. I don't think we'll get it sooner than Survivor Series, unfortunately.
I don't know if they're going to keep branding Survivor Series as War Games. I feel like Survivor Series is even branded as War Games. It's just Survivor Series. So,
well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, but I do in fact have some bad news because Survivor Series does in fact have the chain fence in the background of the logo. So that probably means War Games is coming. They're just not going to announce it up front like they did last year. So then people are like, is War Games going to be a thing? Is it not going to be a thing? And then once we get a feud that makes sense for War Games, they'll be like, War Game. Maybe William Regal will come on out of retirement and hit us with a War Games for the one time.
Maybe. Just maybe.
So I don't think sooner, Rick. I think Survivor Series. Shout out to Too Sweet Kyle. Shout out to my good brother over there. What's up, fellas? Hell of a main event tonight. Hell of a main event here tonight, Kyle. My 3 minutes on Wednesdays are ruined, and you can blame the president of Boom Broadcasting not mouthing off with Mike, but B_Michael Davis on social media. You can blame that Mike, not this Mike.
Sorry, Kyle. I'm not too sweet.
Yeah.
I'm a little sour.
He's a little sour. But you know what was sweet, folks, tonight? Seeing my man, the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus, baby. Sheamus is back, Mike. And he took on Austin Theory after Grayson Waller said, you know what? How about this, Austin? You want to be a singles wrestler? You can go ahead and take on my opponent tonight. Well, welcome back, Shamo. Good to see you back here out of the chair that shall be not named on the Nightcap here because the PREZ is on and the PREZ doesn't know about things like that. So, Mike, Mr. President, what did you think about Austin Theory versus Sheamus?
Dude, the moment that it made it for me was Austin Theory was about to get the 10 beats of the batter. And he looks at Grayson Waller. He's like, why would you do this to me? Why would you do this to me? And I'm like, man, I feel for my buddy Austin. Man, Theory is about to dump Grayson Waller. And he's about to, hey, who knows? Maybe he joins Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman. And, he gets real guidance because, man, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, that is an unhealthy and toxic relationship. And I know John Cena could never be in that.
What? Hold on a sec. All right. Let's see what you're doing here, Prez. Listen, it's gonna be the other way around though. I've got some bad news once again. You can call me Bad News Bear tonight on the Nightcap because it's not gonna be Theory getting rid of Waller. It will be Grayson Waller getting rid of Theory so that you can effectively get Theory to be a good guy again, because that's the real move. That's the real move. Get Waller as the most annoying, diabolical POS heel you could possibly get, because that is his character and he thrives in that environment. Theory, I want to see Theory run the baby face, man. I want to see good guy Theory.
I feel like you could have Austin Theory turn on Grayson Waller and still be a face, though. Like, all that bent up frustration, and I just don't know if the fans will really grasp onto Austin Theory as a babyface, though. That's my main concern.
I mean, I think there's a chance there. I truthfully think there's a chance. Grayson just screwed Theory again. I'm surprised that A-Town Down Under are still together. I thought they were split after losing their tag team championship. Yeah, it's the longest breakup I've ever seen. Theory is the third man with Seth's group. Strong possibility there. I could see Waller in that group too. He fits the character. Handsome dude, pretty underrated, good on the mic, and he also gets one gnarly spray tan every once in a while. So I mean, he fits in with the group, man. I don't think they're the Dangerous Alliance. I don't think they're New Age Evolution. I think it's just Paul E and the spray tan boys, because them spray tans are wild. Wild.
Yeah, well, I got to figure it out. You know, you and I can, be orange as well if we ever
could go get spray tans. All right, that's what we'll do. If you guys go subscribe to my channel and Boom Broadcasting, and when we just start mass subscribing, I'm not even gonna put a number out there. Me and Mike will get bad spray tans, and we'll come on the Nightcap in a few weeks and reunite. So there you go. You heard it here first. Mike said it. He's paying for the bad spray tans. We're going to go get them, and we're going to go live on the Nightcap with the bad spray tans together. So Mike's paying. Mike PREZ is paying for the spray tans. Remember, comment on everything. PREZ has to pay for the spray tans. Hashtag PREZ pays spray tans. You got it? You're with me? We're moving on, baby.
You have enough in your swear jar for that.
Don't worry about it, sweetheart. You're paying for the spray tans. We're moving on, baby. Penta versus Dom is official for Backlash. There's match number 5, Mike. Are you satisfied with the card for Backlash this Saturday?
So looking at it, I honestly thought we were going to get maybe Logan Paul challenging the World Heavyweight Champion. But we have Cena Orton. Dominic Penta is going to slap too. I expect Dominic to retain, but I don't know how you get there. And then you have the United States title. Pat McAfee and Gunther is going to be quite the slap fest of itself. I'm sure we'll talk about that later. And then we'll also talk about the women's Intercontinental title. But the fact that we've been through so many premium live events where the Intercontinental title wasn't showcased or United States title wasn't showcased, but we have 3 mid-card championships showcased at Backlash this Saturday. It's going to be pretty great. I'm here for it.
Dude, I love that after everybody we complained, we're like, oh, what's going on? Some of these talent are not getting, on premium live events. Why aren't they having these titles defended? And then all of a sudden, here you go. You got Lyra, Becky. You got the U.S. title 4-way. You've got the IC title with Dom and Penta. And then, of course, Cena and Orton. And then what's number 5? This was number 5, but what's the other match I'm missing right now from Backlash?
We got Pat McAfee, Gunther.
Oh, my God. Okay, fine. But there's no way Pat goes 50-50 with Gunther, right? Good question. Anything's possible in the world of WWE right now. I could see it happening. I could see a 50-50 match between the two.
Not the
Mike's
way to
like,
go. Not the way to go. I'll hold it till we get there.
All right. Yeah, I would have expected to see Logan and Jey. That's what I thought that was going to be decided tonight in the opening segment, but we ended up getting Seth and Jey in the main event. We'll actually talk a little bit about Logan Paul later because just when you think the show's over, the show's actually not over. Because after Raw went off the air, Logan Paul knocked out Jey Uso. So we'll get there. Now we have the man, Becky Lynch, who's got some words here. And Mike, I'm going to say it right here for you all on the Nightcap. I'm going to take this one away. Shout out to Lyra Valkyria, because this is what I needed to see from her the last 3 months. And I don't know if it's just because Becky's back in the mix and she's like, she's got the pull, she's the big time star and yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. But this is the kind of program that I've been begging Lyra to get into since she got the IC title. And man, oh man, she's making Becky look bad on the mic tonight, Mike.
I don't know if Lyra made Becky look bad on the mic tonight. I would
Lyra cooked her up, served her ass on a silver platter.
Oh, so it's the, Becky, you were the first person to main event WrestleMania. You were the first person to win the SmackDown Women's Championship. I was the first one to win the Women's Intercontinental Championship, even though China technically won an Intercontinental title like 25 years ago. But also it's like you're comparing like a women's main event title and main event in WrestleMania to winning a mid-card women's championship. Now, I'll say this, and I got to write about this on Fans First Sports Network earlier this evening, FFSN.com, and it's WWE is making the women's mid-card division special. And it's because of the person that is scrolling on the bottom right here, Becky Lynch. It's not Lyra Valkyria that we're talking about. It's Becky Lynch, because she's a main event player and she is elevating Lyra. She's elevating this division. And Becky is exactly what Lyra needed to pull her title reign out of obscurity.
All right, let's get into it. Lyra didn't need Becky. WWE has a problem booking the mid-card women's divisions, and they had no choice but to crack the glass, press the button that says, in emergency, Becky Lynch return. And that's what happened. They smashed that glass open, they pressed the button, and Becky Lynch has made this Intercontinental Championship division something to talk about. That's not Lyra's fault. That's WWE's fault. Becky coming back helps Lyra because it gets Lyra to give these promos, like Forsyth said, the best Lyra promo in her career. Becky's making Lyra look great, which is the point, but it shouldn't have had to be this way.
But
it shouldn't have had to be this way.
Can we just like give Becky credit, because she always elevates whoever she's with? Always.
The point that's not the point. I love Becky and I respect Becky. That's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is it's a damn shame that we had to break the in case of emergency Becky Lynch glass to make the title interesting, when WWE's job and Triple H's job and the creative's job is to book Lyra so the fans get behind her. But it took Becky being back for them to be like, oh, wait, let's book Lyra as an actually interesting character, but we have to use Becky to do it. That's the point. That's the part of this where it's like, that stings in my opinion. Now that's me nitpicking.
Yeah.
But you see the point. It shouldn't have had to been smash the glass in case of emergency. Becky Lynch makes things interesting. It should have always been WWE creative books interesting things for Lyra to do.
So what I would say to that is, I see your point. Like, it should just be like interesting, intriguing. I'm here for sign your favorite.
Oh, Wayne, you've seen the Nightcaps. I went on a tirade Friday night with Brandon from Championship Culture about the releases. I'm not hashing that again, but if Lyra was booked like Chelsea, we wouldn't need Becky.
Okay, I can see that. But you look at the Monday Night Raw women's division, and Asuka injured, Kairi Sane injured. Who else? Dakota Kai was injured and now released. Kiana James injured. Like, there's not a lot of people for Lyra to sink her teeth into when it comes to the women's division on Raw that weren't contending for the main event title. And with Becky Lynch, there is a built-in story. Like, they're both from Ireland. Lyra's been compared to Becky Lynch ever since she stepped foot into NXT. I mean, this was a natural storyline that they can do real good promo work on. And it's not just, oh, I want the title. I want the title. No, there's like legitimate beef to where if Becky and Lyra didn't have the title, then we would still be interested in a Becky versus Lyra match. I mean, this was the match we got down in NXT.
100%. And that helped put Lyra on the map, right? And I'm not disputing that. But yeah, you're saying, oh, the women's division was all mixed up, but Derek took it right out of my mouth. Don't forget Natty. They've been sending Natty on side quests because they don't have anything for Natty. They sent her to GCW. She had one of her best matches of the last 5 years. She's going to be in NWA in the Crockett's Cup. She's going to probably tear it up. You can't run Natty versus Lyra. You were running Bailey versus Lyra. You know what I mean?
It would be a good match, but
Dakota
like
before she was released.
In terms of promo work, like what do you have for Lyra versus Natalya that really gets fans interested in 2025? I mean, promo wise.
But have you not seen the stuff on social media with Natty and the promos that she's been cutting? She's upped her game, and it's a shame that she's not getting the chance to show it. Like, Lyra and Natty would have been a great first title defense for Lyra. If in hindsight, 2020, we could pull a booking like a Mark and rebook it. Natty would have been the perfect first contender for Lyra because of her veteran status. And that puts Lyra beats a veteran. That puts her on top. That gives her a little bit more oomph in her promos. Look, I beat a veteran of 16 years in Natty as my first title defense. I'm going to beat Becky Lynch, one of the best modern goats, we called her, right? We called Becky the GOAT for a while. I'm going to beat the GOAT, the women's GOAT, at Backlash. Like, imagine having that on your accolades already without needing Becky in this feud.
I mean, and with Natalya, like, yes, she is a legend. I'm not taking anything away from her, but, I can't remember if it was Dolph Ziggler, Nick Namath, who said, I can lose so many matches, but I need that one win to be legitimate. Like, Natalya hasn't been in a high profile feud or story in years. So like, I don't see Lyra beating Natty as like, something that elevates her. It's just like, oh, it's a given Lyra's going to beat Natalya, but it's not a given that this Saturday that Lyra beats Becky Lynch. And so with the promo work and them both being from Ireland, their history down in NXT, like, there's an opportunity for Lyra to do something special that she wouldn't have been able to do against anyone on the Raw women's roster.
Well, I'll agree to disagree on this one, PREZ, because we could probably go another 30 on this argument. Nevertheless, I think there needs to be something said that it took this for WWE to actually finally start booking the women's IC champion as a actual legitimate champion. Nevertheless, Roxanne Perez and Io Sky had a fantastic match here tonight on Monday Night Raw. PREZ, go ahead. What did you think about this one?
Oh, this was solid. And then I would love to see like Roxanne Perez be inserted into the women's Intercontinental title picture once Becky and Lyra are done with their feud. Because, dude, Roxanne Perez, we knew if you followed her from NXT, she can absolutely cook in the ring, and her and Io Sky, like, just instant chemistry. I mean, I could do a best of 7 series with this alone, and we're getting a tag team match with the two. It's interesting to see how they're doing Julia. It feels like Roxanne Perez almost feels like a permanent call up, and Julia's kind of double dipping with Stephanie Vaquer in NXT. I'm just interested to see like when they pull the trigger and get Julia and Vaquer both up fully to the main roster.
I like that. There's plenty of women to elevate, though. Could have built Natty, Rock, Zoe, can call up Lash or Henley and build up the story. I agree, Forsyth. I like it. You guys are on my back tonight. You guys are on my side of things here. I think PREZ is just finally a full enrolled member of Hate You. I think the Dean of Admissions finally got him to sway his decision, which school he was going to go with. And I think the PREZ ended up enrolling in Hate You with the Dean of Admissions channel. Yeah. Oh, Mike, you've been out of the loop, brother. You've been out of the loop. You haven't heard about Hate You, have you?
Don't make me a hater. That was uncalled for. I'm just saying, Becky, like of all
Hate You
on the list,
you're enrolled in
all
Hate
the
You.
people on the list, Becky was the one person to make Lyra's title relevant in the last 5 months that she's had this. Almost 6.
That's the point right here. Four Sides is typing it out in a clear, concise sentence. Because tonight, I guess I can't build sentence structures properly. Shouldn't have to call your big dogs to help your mid card, especially when it's new.
No,
give us new, not old.
No, you use your established main guys to elevate. Like John Cena, the United States title back in 2015. John Cena should not have been United States champion. But guess what? He elevates Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and Rusev. Like, he elevates all these guys. Neville. I mean, that's what you use your established main stars to do, is build new stars. Like, in 3 years, we're going to look back on Lyra and Becky and be like, hey, this feud and this match helped make Lyra Valkyria into a main event star.
Yeah, but here's the funny part. Here's your spoiler alert. Here's your prediction. Here's your spoiler, not a prediction. Bayley's returning to screw Becky at Backlash.
Okay.
So there you have it. So run the Becky Bayley gauntlet anyway. So you're not even getting what you want and what you think is going to happen, because Bayley's making a return here.
That's totally fine. And you
this
know
is an
what?
Interesting comment, though. That'd be wild, dog. I'm here for it, Logan. That's some fantasy booking, but that's some fun fantasy booking. I ain't mad. But we've seen this already for a main title. No, yeah, exactly. We have. I'm not saying Bayley and Becky for the title. I'm saying Bayley and Becky separate feud. Lyra retains the championship. We run the gauntlet. Lyra versus any other woman other than, that's the point. Man, they're on your ass, Mike. They're on your ass tonight, baby. Poor Mike. I did say that this was going to be Mike's last nightcap for a while. Unfortunately, Mike is going to be a busy man. He's going to be a busy man pretty soon. So enjoy it while you got it. Hate You versus Chase U. Degree on a pole match. I like the way Derek books. Let's go, Derek. Let's get it. We're only 20 days away from Double or Nothing, Derek, and us locking up and getting a nice dap in about 20 days when we go to AEW Double or Nothing. What else we got here tonight on the old Monday Night Raw machine? We got Rusev versus Otis. You know what that means, Mike? For the first time in a long time, on the Nightcap, on Cinco de Mayo, it's Cinco de Mito, because we got some big meaty men bumping meat. I like this match.
Bro, Rusev, what a beast. I mean, he's an animal. Guys in the comments,
Hate You.
Ew.
See, this is what happens when Mike missed a few episodes and he doesn't know about Hate You. So we're just gonna really just hammer it in at him for not.
I'm not a hater though.
But you don't even know what Hate You is.
I'm not a hater. Guys.
They all say.
But Rusev, like, his presentation was just so like intense, and I loved it because he set the tone. What I don't like is the story that Michael Cole was trying to personify while on commentary, because apparently Rusev is, sacrificing himself to pull people out of obscurity, and he's starting with Otis. And no, I want Rusev to just go up and try to get the Intercontinental Championship, try to get the World Championship. Like, Rusev is that dude, and he needs to focus on that. It feels like a very, like, if they keep him stuck in this, like, trying to help other people out kind of mentality, couldn't be the best gimmick for him.
He's been back for 2 weeks. They have to get him at least get a win under his belt. He has to beat up Alpha Academy. That's par for the course right now. He's got to beat up Otis. He's going to beat up Akira Tozawa next week. And then he's going to go towards somebody else. You don't need the same. See, look, by doing that, and you can agree or disagree with me, Prez, by doing what you just said, is that not the same thing that was done in AEW for Rusev? And was that not the same thing that caused him to end up falling out of the main card, and the placement of the matches was they rushed him right to the TNT title. He won it. They didn't have plans. He dropped it. He disappeared. Obviously, injuries and things like that play a factor, but is that not the same thing that could happen in this situation where you rush him to the IC title, he loses, whatever, then it just makes him look like a clown? You got to build him up a little bit to break him down a little bit to build him back up.
I'm not mad with what you said. I'm not mad with what you said.
And if the character is him making sure that talent is not wasting their full potential, if this is the new Rusev, whatever, redeemer, helper, counselor, therapist, whatever you want to call him, the therapist, Rusev, whatever. If his first person he targets is Otis because Otis isn't living up to his true potential, and this is the catalyst for Otis to maybe get serious and maybe use the hybrid Bam Bam Bigelow-esque Vader body that this dude has to maybe be a big man in the division, I'm back. They sign me up. A guy like Otis should not just be wasting his talents aside as a comedy act. He's funny, but imagine Otis as a serious big body heel like Bronson Reed or something of the sort. He ain't no Bronson Reed, but you see what I'm getting at here?
I see what you're saying, but like we already have a guy on Monday Night Raw dedicated to changing characters,
right?
And Karrion Kross. And he does great at it. I just, to me, like Karrion Kross is there to elevate and change storylines. What's going to differentiate him from Rusev? And again, he's been back 2 weeks. Like we'll find out and we'll see what's actually happening. So I'm holding this off and seeing what Triple H does, because he usually never disappoints me, or at least 80% of the time. 80%. We'll give him 80%.
He's disappointing the hell out of me recently, Mr. Triple H. No, but I agree to that. I'll give you that. I mean, I will say differentiating the two, Rusev and Kross, Rusev changes you physically, like with his physicality in the ring. Karrion Kross changes you psychologically, the mental games. I think there's the big differentiator between the two gimmicks. Rusev will physically beat the shit out of you until you're like, well, you know what? Maybe that Rusev guy, maybe he was right. Maybe I am wasting my full potential. Kross, his thing is he's going to play with your head, which in turn is going to change who you are. So good shout there, but I think that's a good way to differentiate it if they decide to go that path. Speaking of Karrion Kross, merchandise has now been restocked twice since WrestleMania on WWE Shop. It is selling out again. It is sold out again. Crowd is cheering for him on Main Event last week, even in defeat against Dragon Lee. Crowd tonight is chanting for him while he cuts a promo on commercial in the U.S. that we don't even get to see, that I got to see on Twitter. Triple H, when are you going to give something to Karrion Kross so he can sink his teeth into? That's all I got to say on the subject about Karrion Kross. It's time to figure it the hell out. The reactions are there. The talent is there. You've heard the crowd tell you what they want. We want Kross on Raw. We want Kross on TV. Figure it out. Anyway, Gunther face-to-face with Pat McAfee in Omaha, Nebraska. Mike, I liked what Pat had to say here, but overall, I do not like us pivoting from Gunther losing the world title at WrestleMania to a feud with Pat McAfee. I digress. What do you got for me?
I agree with you. Yeah, and especially when you look at what premium live events are, and this is no disrespect to Pat McAfee, but you could have had Gunther versus Jey Uso. You could have had Gunther versus somebody else. You could have had a wrestler on the roster go and laugh at Gunther and then he get upset and play the same story. But instead, you have a celebrity match. And if this doesn't end with Gunther absolutely just destroying Pat McAfee, I mean, I could totally see like Gunther, like, getting caught up like a time or two by Pat, but this needs to be like a 90% Gunther beat down, reestablish your dominance, get rid of Pat McAfee in about 8 minutes, if that, and just move on. Because I saw the intensity in Gunther tonight, and it's just it needs to be there, right? Like Pat McAfee is living a dream. Gunther is just trying to reestablish himself. And after tapping out at WrestleMania, he just needs to come out with just a lot of determination. And yeah, if he just doesn't absolutely destroy Pat McAfee, like, what are we doing? And it's weird that this is one of the 5 matches at Backlash, because this should last 8 minutes tops.
Well, you're going to have this last for 8 minutes. Then there'll be a commercial break for about 15 minutes. And then you'll get to your main event and yada, yada, yada. But I'll be real with you. If this doesn't end with Gunther bloodying up Pat McAfee in St. Louis, then we failed the mission for poor Gunther. And as if this doesn't end with us hearing the crowd chant Oldberg, 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 then we really missed the mark. Because if the rumors are true, and there's a retirement match coming this summer, the seeds were planted months and months and months ago with Gunther taking on Goldberg in Goldberg's retirement match. Mike, you look disgusted at that sentence.
What was Goldberg's last match?
It was bad. It was against The Fiend. Was it? Was it against
No, because he was
Universal
champion.
It was against Lesnar. It was against Lesnar when Lesnar cooked him.
Okay, let that be his retirement match. I don't want to see.
I got bad news for you, brother.
I don't want to see Goldberg.
He already said it
TV.
last year. He already said it last year during college football season when he was on Fox for the football coverage. He already said that he's having a retirement match this coming year.
Can
we are in that said year, and it looks like the rumor. This is pure rumors feed, so I cannot know if this is true or not. But they planted the seeds almost a year ago with Gunther calling out Goldberg and tell it with, you remember that whole thing?
I do remember, but I mean, can we just not do like this random like cruise where Goldberg wrestles Ryback in the main event and it's both their retirement matches and we're done with it?
Yeah, well, that's that's the way the cookie crumbles, brother. I think Breakker and Goldberg makes more sense. No, I think it does too. I think that match makes more sense, but I also just feel like they planted seeds here, and this also is another true statement, Cody. Gunther versus McAfee really undermines the potential of Goldberg versus Gunther. Cross is getting over, so it doesn't make sense why they were wasting it on him. And, it has a lot to do with, I think, because Cross spoke his mind in that interview after WrestleMania. It went viral. It went triple platinum on social media. Then Killer Cross followed up by dropping a documentary from his week of WrestleMania, which was very good to watch. Check it out on his YouTube. But I guess we'll see what happens Saturday in St. Louis. But I think Pat McAfee and Gunther, for whatever reason, is going to somehow be a 50-50 match. They're going to let Pat get offense in this match. They're going to let him beat up Gunther a little bit. They are. They 100% are.
Let Pat hit a couple moves off the top rope and maybe try a comeback, but I just want Gunther to swat Pat McAfee. I love Pat McAfee, but come on. This really?
It's settled, man. I know where you're going to school. You are going to hate you, brother. You're going. Listen, Mike, I'm not calling you a hater. There's a university that we're forming. It's still not accredited. We don't have any student aid or nothing. The dean of administrations is Channel from Four Sides. He's the dean of Hate U. Open enrollment is taking place for the summer sessions for Hate U. I'm talking to you. You could be in the summer class for Hate U if you'd like to enroll. You have to hit up at Four Sides OTR and tell them I'm outing off with Mike sent you because I am a part of the recruitment for Hate U. So I'm recruiting for Hate U so we can help. There's no student loans There's no FAFSA. There's no financial help. There's nothing. Channel accepts Bitcoin and Bitcoin only. Okay. So let me know. DM 4 sides OTR. Oh my goodness, it's Tony Khan. No, it's I want anyone WWE doesn't want. That's funny. That's so silly. That's so silly. Don't spend your time pretending to be Tony Khan on social media, please. Main event of Monday Night Raw, the World Heavyweight Championship defended by Jey Uso versus Seth freaking Rollins. This was a damn good main event, Mike. That's all I got.
Bro, this, like, especially, and we talked about it at the beginning of the Nightcap tonight, we had an incredible Raw from top to bottom, and that opening promo with Heyman and Jey Uso really set the stage for the main event. And dude, I miss like the days where we had like a random world title match on Monday Night Raw in the main event, and there was the slight chance the title would change hands. And dude, I could have totally seen it. I saw a scenario where somebody would come and interfere, but dude, I could have also seen Seth Rollins taking this world title and just putting the rocket on him, because look, like Paul Heyman aligned himself with Roman Reigns, and then like a week later, Roman was world champion, and that was Paul Heyman's doing, getting him that world title match. So I could have seen a repeat nearly 5 years later with Seth Rollins getting this title match with Jey Uso, and some shenanigans happening to where Seth beats Jey Uso. And honestly, once Jey Uso hit the super kick and the spear and the splash and Seth kicked out, I looked and I was watching with Papa Davis right there. I looked, I'm like, this is happening. Seth's going to win the title tonight. And then no yeet.
Oh, you want Seth to win. You really are enrolled in Hate You.
Dude, I kind of wanted it because, dude, like that promo with Paul Heyman, like he carried it. Like Jey Uso just looked scared. I do, by the way, great review on the Frosted Eats on your channel.
Thank you. It's available now on YouTube.
There's your cheap plug. Right there. That's your cheap plug. But Jey Uso just looked scared. You know, Jey Uso looked scared and uncomfortable. And Seth Rollins as world champion would just elevate the title. And then you can run Seth Rollins versus CM Punk for the title. Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns for the title. In the main event of premium live events. And that'll feed families. But man, it just didn't happen. You know, no disrespect to Jey Uso, but he's not going to be a long-term world champion. I think we all know this.
Yeah, he's not gonna hold the title for 1,233 days, but he'll hold it. He'll hold it for a couple more months, I think, in my personal opinion. I mean, this was a great match. I love the spear to pedigree transition as always. That's such a smooth move. This could be. You could make an argument, and you know, look, so we know how good Seth Rollins is. We can make the argument that this might have been Jey's best singles match ever. To be honest, it's strong. It's definitely one of Jey's stronger matches we've seen him wrestle. And against Seth Rollins, of course, it's Seth freaking Rollins, man. The guy can wrestle you or me and probably have a 3.5 star match. I think he'd have a 4-star match with me, like a 3.5 star match with you, you know? I hear you're a sandbagger. You know, you sandbag in the ring, I heard.
Hey, that's what we're going to get with Cena and Orton for 20 minutes on Saturday.
A lot of sandbagging, baby.
It's going to be good. As long as
the floods were here with how many sandbags we're getting on Saturday, baby.
As long as nobody sees me say, "Hit me again, hit me again." Well, I digress on that. Jey Uso versus Gunther was great at WrestleMania. Like, I really like that. But yeah, you could put this up here with Jey Uso and Seth Rollins being one of Jey's better matches in singles wise in his career. And it's good to have that on his world title resume, even though there wasn't anything definitive come out of this.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You know what came definitive out of this? Some questions for the future and some questions for Backlash because CM Punk is back. And Mike, who did I text you? Who did I text you at approximately
He's looking back at the text. He's looking back at the receipts.
7:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I said Punk or Roman here, buddy. Punk. You got Punk. He's back. He's coming after Seth. You got Sami Zayn in the mix here. So the ending shot of Monday Night Raw, Mike, was CM Punk, Seth, and Jey in the ring with, Sami, CM Punk, and Jey in the ring with Seth, Braun, and Paul looking on from the ramp. Does that make things clear that we are getting some form of tag team match at Backlash or next week on Raw with CM Punk and Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins? Or does this turn into a 3-on-3 tag match at some point with a third man to be revealed for the Paul Heyman group, for the Spray Tan Boys?
Does this just feel like the NWO right there, waiting for the third man to come out?
The third man. Who's the third man?
And then Jey Uso turns on CM Punk and Sami Zayn and joins the NWO. I mean, Seth Rollins, Seth's World Order, the SWO. I don't know. I feel like Backlash would be
Spray Tan World Order.
Spray Tan World Order.
There it is, Sean.
Saturday night main event would be good. Money in the Bank as well is coming up too. You gotta figure out a way to get them there, but I feel like announcing this on social media would just be kind of weird unless you are fully committing to a very short Gunther McAfee match.
If Gunther doesn't squash Pat McAfee in 8 minutes flat, I want Mike to get a spray tan. I want my spray tan. Because I blame you. I blame you if it doesn't happen. CM Punk is back, though. It leaves things very, very open in the air here because, I don't know, the way Sammy looked at Punk in the ring there looked a little sideways. He kind of looked at him. He was like I don't know if he's sure of it or what, but I don't know. I don't think Sammy's the third man. I don't think so. I don't want Sammy going to the dark side anytime soon. I want Sammy to stay who he is. I like cheering for Sammy. I don't like booing Sammy. I could see them. What do we have? 5 matches for Backlash. Triple H is not going to add a 6th, is he? Is he going to add a 6th if it's Punk and Sammy versus Braun and Seth?
Well, we still have SmackDown. We still have SmackDown.
They're not adding anything to this. No chance. No shot.
I don't think so.
Their 2 matches are the U.S. title and the world title. You know, Cena and Orton. So that's their 2 matches. 3 other matches are coming from Raw right now. There it is. That's it. What else could be added on SmackDown? Tiffany versus the winner of Nia and Naomi? I feel like that's a Saturday night's main event match on the horizon.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't see anything getting added to. Yeah, I don't see anything getting added to Saturday's Backlash event.
No, I don't think so either. But I could possibly see a Sammy heel turn. See, I feel like it's coming, but at the end of the day, I don't want Sammy to turn heel.
It doesn't fit.
I don't want to boo Sammy. I'd never, even when Sammy was a heel and he was doing the whole conspiracy theory gimmick and everything, I didn't want to boo Sammy. I like Sammy too much. And he is so believable. Like, he's so believable as a good guy, as a face, you know, in professional wrestling, because Sammy has always been an underdog in everything he's done. And he's never looked at in the same respect as you look at a guy like a Seth Rollins. You never looked at Sammy like that. No one ever really looked at Sammy as world champion material. And I think Sammy could have a huge year this year and maybe battle Seth and Breaker and Heyman all through the year to finally maybe get that big moment out of Royal Rumble and win the Rumble and take on a Seth Rollins at WrestleMania for the title. I think that is the Sami Zayn story for this year. I've already predicted it a year in advance that Sami Zayn wins the Royal Rumble and goes on to WrestleMania to win the world title.
That would be dope. I would be here for that.
That's my big prediction for this year. But I was confused at the start of Raw because I thought Logan Paul and Jey Uso were going to have a face-to-face. But Logan Paul jumped Jey Uso after Raw ended, knocking Jey out. And does that mean it's going to be Logan Paul versus Jey Uso at Saturday night's main event? Because it looks like it is.
Yeah, and if there was a match to be added to Backlash, this would probably be the one. But I feel like we will wait Saturday night's main event. Interesting they didn't add this to the show, but Logan Paul just came out afterwards. I thought that was kind of fishy, but yeah, we're going to get Logan Paul versus Jey Uso. At least that means that Jey Uso will beat Logan Paul and be able to retain the World Heavyweight Championship. So I'm not mad at it. Yeah, I'm not mad at it, and we'll see how long this Jey Uso title reign lasts.
Hate you, baby. He's a hater. He's a hate you enrollee. You too can enroll and hate you with the Dean of Admissions, Chano Hayes from Four Sides. That's Four Sides, OTR. Cheap plug. Ladies and gentlemen, it is almost the end of the nightcap here. We're going to get out of your hair in just one moment, but I have the last call. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for the last call. Make sure you get your orders in. The bar's closing here. Last call, folks. Here's your question viewing. Here's your question on social media. And here's your question, Prez. What's your hype level for Backlash on Saturday?
I'm going to say 7. I feel like 7 is kind of harsh, but we do get Cena Orton for the final time. I don't know my expectations for this because apparently Cena's wanting to ruin wrestling. We get Lyra versus Becky, which is going to be awesome. I'm wanting Gunther to squash Pat McAfee. And then we got some 2 bangers, like for the United States title, that fatal 4-way is going to be really nice. And then the Intercontinental title between Dominic and Penta will feed families. So yeah, I'm going for a 7, but I don't expect anything crazy to happen. Like I could see Becky Lynch winning the championship, but other than that, I feel like all the titles stay the same.
How dare you? How dare you? How dare you speak such a phrase here on the Nightcap? My hype level for Backlash, you guys tell me what your hype level is in the comments or at MOWM_podcast or at B_Michael Davis. Make sure, remember, folks, Michael Davis said if you subscribe to Boom Broadcasting and you get Boom Broadcasting to 600 subs, you get it to 600 subs, Prez is paying for the spray tans.
Do we need a deadline for this? Do we need a deadline?
No deadline. Right now, tonight's your deadline. Go subscribe to Boom Broadcasting. Get Boom Broadcasting to 600 subscribers. The Prez is paying for the spray tans. We're going to get spray tans, and we're going to come back on the Nightcap in a few weeks, and we're going to look like Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman for you guys. My hype level is a whopping 6.5. I am at a 6.5 hype for Backlash on Saturday. I'm only hype about it because it's Saturday. I don't have shit to do, and I get to watch wrestling and do a nightcap with all of you. So there you go. There's your breaking news. A nightcap Saturday night after Backlash here on Boom Broadcasting, and I will do my Backlash predictions about an hour before the pre-show Saturday live on Mouthing Off with Mike for Backlash. Prez, what content do we have coming this way for Boom Broadcasting?
Dude, so much. I feel like I lose track. Jason dropped 3 from Deep earlier this afternoon. I did now a pocket episode. We just did the Nightcap. Sean's got shows. Wrestling of Destiny, I'm sure, is going to touch on Backlash. It Stinks, the TV show review that he does. We got Quick Hits with Podcast Smitty coming up. We got Dugout Debrief with Chris DeLuca. I feel like I'm missing like 6 different shows because we try to get as much content for you guys. I'll be doing a Drop the Mic Wrestling podcast episode this Wednesday as well. So this is the lights turned out. Is the party over? What's going on?
They're coming for you, brother. You talked a lot of stuff tonight. Hate You's coming for you, bro. They're taking you. Channel's got the minivan. He just pulled up.
I'm creeped out. Can somebody find me some can somebody get me some help before I get taken?
Yeah, there you go. Well, there you have it, folks. Mike Davis is gone here for the for the evening. The Wyatt Six finally got him. He's been yapping too much. But we do have a lot of stuff coming at your way this week for Boom Broadcasting. Like you heard the Prez say, you've got Sean's show, It Stinks Wrestling of Destiny, dropping this week. You have Jason, you have Mike, not me, the other one. And as well, you know, you've got a nightcap coming for you Friday night as well, and Saturday night with me, and of course my predictions coming with Backlash. Make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe, because it is a true statement, ladies and gentlemen. The Prez will pay for the spray tans, so go subscribe to Boom Broadcasting, get some spray tans. We'll be real silly about it. Thanks so much for hanging out with us here tonight on the Nightcap. What a record-breaking Nightcap it has been. There's over 650 of you viewing the Nightcap tonight across social media, so go subscribe, go follow me, go follow Mike, go show some love. We do this for the love of the game, baby, because that's all that really matters, is the game. I'm out of here, guys. Have a good night. I'll see you back here for Friday night Smack